This is Chris Powell from the Couch Coach Live podcast, and we have episode 6 of Spider Bites. We are here with just like the spiders. We're just rolling on week by week, just doing our thing here on Spider Bite, brought to you by Couch Coach Live. Got a lot to talk about today on episode 6. Obviously, we got to talk about, we'll be previewing the matchup between the North Carolina A&T Aggies. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about last week's Spiders win over Elon. Some guys to watch on the Aggies team as well, and also on the Spiders as well. And we'll give you some keys to a victory for the Spiders as they're seeking their fourth consecutive win on the season. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit that intro, and we'll be right back here on Spider Bite. Yes, and we like that. Big shout out to our guy Kirk Cousins, aka Big Kirko, as we always talk about that on Couch Coach Live. We always give Kirk Cousins his love on it on our various shows here on the Couch Coach Live podcast, and also now here on Spider Bite. So, without further ado, let's just get to going and just talk about Richmond's matchup versus North Carolina A&T. So, as I mentioned in the opening, the Spiders are looking for their fourth consecutive win. This matchup between the Aggies and the Spiders, this is the third time that they will face each other. And last year, they beat the Aggies 33-10 last year. And let's talk about the Spiders' 27-17 win over Elon in their CAA opener. Very great game on both sides. This is kind of one of those matchups, or the games, not matchup, but more so the games where everything kind of clicked. You looked at even like the special teams, they contribute well in this game. Obviously, Peskin getting the field goal in the beginning to kind of get the ball rolling for the Spiders. Then you just look at the contributions of Zach Palmer-Smith getting that touchdown in the third quarter, and pretty much having literally back-to-back scoring drives, obviously, to end the first half, where Cam Coleman ran in, got there, and then Zach Palmer-Smith in the first possession in the third quarter for them essentially to kind of pretty much seal the deal for this Richmond Spiders team over Elon. Zach Palmer-Smith, a workman-like game, 24 carries last week, 167 yards. So obviously, in the previous week, he had over 150 yards. So this is the first time that a Spider running back has ran for more than 150 yards consecutive in more than 2 games since Jacoby Green did it in 2015, where he did it for 3 consecutive games. And Zach Palmer-Smith, if he does have a game like that on Saturday where he has more than 150 yards rushing, he will join Jacoby Green in that same mark. So definitely somewhat of a historical significance potentially in this game where he could tie Jacoby Green's record with 3 consecutive 150 plus rushing yards. And it's definitely a possibility. Talk about that, and then talk about Quantrell Morris Walker interception return as well. So they really got the job done on both ends, as far as definitely a great running attack. Also got the turnovers, and then also congratulations to CJ Tank Fraser, who got his first college career interception, and also had 9 tackles as well, and the forced fumble as well on that end too. And he was the CAA Defensive Player of the Week. So definitely huge shout out to Tank for a great effort on Saturday against Elon. And the Spiders just keep on rolling. And just one of those in that game, essentially just well balanced, almost eerily similar to the 3 wins that they've had so thus far this season. So you look at it where you're starting to see a pattern, and it's almost kind of reminiscent of kind of how last year was, in the sense where everything started clicking on all cylinders. So you're looking at it like a lot of it. If you were following the Spiders last year, it's almost like a deja vu. I think if we had Spider Bites last year, we probably would be echoing the same sentiments potentially in this, how in these last few weeks here with the Spiders. So North Carolina A&T Aggies um, lost to South Carolina State last week, 45-25, and their record is coming into this matchup as 1-4, as the Richmond Spiders are coming in at 3-2. So some guys to watch, particularly on this Aggie squad. You look at Justin Fonby. Last week he had 205 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, and they lost South Carolina State. Then you had the wide receiver Javon Dillard. He had 75 reception yards last week in the loss as well. So I think that combination potentially could somewhat pose some havoc, and I know they're a really athletic team, so I think some matchups, potentially A&T may take advantage of some of individual matchups, but I think collectively, I think the Spiders can definitely, as a collective, can simply overcome those individual mismatches potentially in this game. So on the other side for the Richmond, I mean, you look at tons of guys that you look at on the Spider side as far as the guys to watch. Obviously, Cam Coleman, essentially, got the keys to the car at this point for the Spiders. His ability, essentially, to almost somewhat be of a runner. I know we talked about it in episode 1 when there was somewhat of a quarterback question, like, so who was going to be QB1 between Cal and Cam, and I know a lot of people looked at the time, well, Cal's probably more of an effective runner, but now you're seeing Cam being somewhat of a running threat. Obviously in the touchdown run that he had, pretty much ending the first half last week against Elon. So you look at that as well. And Zach Palmer-Smith, I mean, what he has done has just been amazing. He's had a workman's-like effort week in and week out, pretty much bringing his lunch pail every game. So you look at him where, you're starting to see like him getting the bulk of these carries now. He's getting 24 carries in this game last week. So definitely, I can see him definitely having, potentially having the work share load of the carries in this game as well, and getting to that plus 150 and above. It's going potentially a couple touchdowns in this matchup as well. Cannot talk about a player to watch for the Richmond Spiders without mentioning Jeremiah Grant. Off to a great start. And we talked about him last week. 7.5 sacks on the season. He leads the FCS and still in sacks. So I think that will be the prevailing theme as this show progressed throughout the season, where you will definitely see a heavy. He'll be a guy that's mentioned on the pod every week as far as a guy that you need to watch. And you look at even their secondary. I know we talked about 2 guys who made interceptions last week. I definitely think they're of note as well. And Quantrell Morris-Walker, and also Tank Fraser. Those guys, I think, could potentially yet again maybe have a situation where they could get interceptions and cause turnovers for the Aggies. So I definitely, those are kind of essentially the players to watch in this matchup. And to me, I think the keys for Richmond Spiders victory is almost just like doing what you've done the last 3 weeks. Don't reinvent the wheel. I think Cam Coleman, as long as he's efficient, and even in these weeks he's played, he hasn't really had what I call the sexy numbers, but he has played well enough for this team to win. And I think all he really, in my personal opinion, has to do is, hey, just be efficient, short throws, long throws, just be efficient. make every possession, as far as that. And then as far as, don't turn over the football. I think that's kind of one of the keys for him. As long as you don't turn over the football, I think they're good. And then I think you look at the running of Zach Palmer-Smith. I definitely think, like I talked about it minutes ago, of his impact. And I definitely think you have, he has a guy like that who can kind of move the chains, kind of help in that time possession, as far as keeping the Aggies defense, on the field and pretty much wearing them out, and and could be like a war of attrition potentially, for this Aggie squad. Have a running back like a Zach Palmer-Smith there as well. And then I also think, like they've done in the past, and even dating back to last year, getting the turnovers, and they've had an act for getting the ball. They've been ball hogs as of late, in that secondary. So many guys in that secondary has made great plays, pick sixes, interceptions. So to me, I just think that if the Spiders just do what they've been doing pretty much the last 3 weeks, I definitely think that this Spiders team can once again win their fourth consecutive game. So to me, it's really an all phases type of game for the Spiders, like they had for the last 3 weeks. And I definitely think they have a great shot of doing that yet again. So, so this wraps up episode 6. We're definitely looking forward to Richmond's matchup with A&T Saturday, live at Robin Stadium at a 2:00 kickoff. So definitely looking forward as the Spiders come home, and we'll be live there at Robin Stadium on Saturday. So follow us on social media, Couch Coach Live, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll do a live, we'll do essentially like a live report while we're on the field, and also we'll do a post game, kind of give you our thoughts, give you what happened in that game, and then also we'll have some audio from the presser after the game on Saturday. So this has been episode 6. Definitely thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys. We won't be back next week because the Spiders have a bye week, so we'll be back next Thursday. Not next Thursday, but the 17th of October. So it'll be in 2 weeks from tonight. We'll have episode 7 of Spiders Byte. But we're going to, just like the Spiders next week, we'll take a bye week, and we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Episode 6, and we're out.